Once he overheard the conversation about Taiki having a crush on Chinastu, Haru was like a shark smelling blood in the water, putting Taiki through the paces in order to improve his skills. However, for all of Haru's teasing, Haru certainly sees potential within Taiki and respects him enough to warrant being around him and having him on his team. Hello everyone and welcome to the Anime Zillia, and today we're here to talk about everything Chapter 8 of the Blue Box manga series. A really fun and exciting, enjoyable chapter that helps add more characterization and features to the character of Haru, while also giving a sense of direction moving forward in terms of Taiki's character and the series in general. So then I want to start off by taking us back to the ending cliffhanger of Chapter 4, and where we see Taiki and Hina both spotting Haru and Chinastu together outside of school. Now, that situation of events finally has a reason as to why they were together out of school. The answer is simple. But before the answer, let's go back to Chapter 7's ending, in where Chinastu states that, or says in fact, "Oh, that's how he sees it." Now that line right there proves that Chinastu doesn't actually have feelings for Haru, meaning that it also proves that nothing romantic was happening between them at the ending of Chapter 4. So the answer, it turns out Haru has a girlfriend and simply wanted makeup advice, which is highly understandable because I myself, as a male as well, would be absolutely clueless about buying makeup for a female, especially one that I cared about, because I just wouldn't have a clue. However, with that in mind, it does change the question from why was Haru and Chinastu together to that of why did Haru ask Chinastu specifically for help? So we gotta change the question and find out a reason or an answer. Now, I don't actually think we're ever gonna find out an answer within the series, but here's a few that I've thought of. Was Chinastu the only one within his circle of friends available at that time, making her the default person to ask? Possible. Does Haru's girlfriend look similar to Chinastu, making it possible for Haru to develop feelings towards Chinastu later on in the series, thus keeping the hopes of a love triangle alive within the series moving forward? Not likely, and one that I don't really want to see happen moving forward. And finally, this is the idea that I like the most, and that is, could Chinastu possibly have a passion and want to professionally study makeup as a career moving forward? Now, the reason as to why I like this idea so much is because it builds and adds more to Chinastu's character, giving us some new information about her, which is something that I think this manga series seriously needs to do. Because at this moment in time, 8 chapters in, I don't really feel like I know a lot about our basketball-loving female character. Apart from the fact is she loves basketball, and she may have a thing for Taiki. But who knows? As for Haru himself this chapter, I love the presentation of him being this slimy jerk, using the fact that Taiki has a crush on Chinastu as a way to motivate him / push him further within his training, stating that Chinastu would never give up or complain on the court, and the man that she dates shouldn't either and should be equally respectable. This is great because his manipulation tactics to just make him have a bit more heat to the character, but also make it a bit more comedic and a bit more fun for us as the audience reading. Now, Haru does see potential within Taiki and hints at this within Chapter 7 with those panels of him being lost in thought and needing to ask him a certain question. But it's obviously confirmed here within this chapter because Haru states that Taiki will get stronger even though he's a bit hopeless at the moment. It's stated that Haru doesn't even give people who he sees unworthy the time of day, yet continue to train with Taiki and help him improve. So this, if it doesn't show a sign of respect, I honestly don't know what does, because to me, it certainly is respect being shown both ways. Even Taiki by the end of the chapter realizes that Haru, despite all of his teasing and all of his efforts to break Taiki, he's not that bad of a guy. Plus, after that hellish, ghoulish training Haru put Taiki through, he still does Taiki the favour of making him look good in front of Chinastu. This I loved, because it's kind of almost like Taiki's trying to make this ship happen. Possibly. Well, that's the way I saw it anyway. But this change of personality and character representation from Haru was surprising, yet very welcomed, as it offers a new source of comedy within the series, and it differentiates the type of personalities we see from characters within this manga series. Plus, from what I've seen so far, a lot of people now like Haru a lot more. And I can agree with that, because my interest within him has grown despite the mystery of the character depleting. Now, my final point on Haru's character is his girlfriend. Will we see his girlfriend moving forward within this series? I'm going to go out on a limb and predict that she is actually a basketball player. Possibly one that Chinastu might have to face in the future. And there could be some kind of dispute between them when the word makeup is brought up within, conversation, and those two are within earshot of each other. Just a little kind of prediction there. Possibly could happen, possibly couldn't. Let me know if you think we're going to see it in the comments down below. But moving on now, let's talk about Chinastu herself. Because oh my god, seeing her blush was super cute. And mouthing "you're doing great" to Taiki was super wholesome and shows that she's still watching him. But if only our main protagonist wasn't so dense or clueless, he could connect the dots and be extremely happy with the fact that his crush is actually taking an interest and watching him during training. Oh Taiki, what are we going to do with you? Overall, I thought this chapter was fantastic. I love the build-up of Haru's character in terms of personality, and the fact that they showed some of the badminton training, I think really does help make the series more enjoyable in terms of the pacing and just seeing Taiki develop and grow within his chosen sport, instead of skipping over this. I always hate it whenever a main protagonist or a character has a random power-up that we don't actually see the results of how they got it. This time we see how he's training, we see criticism from Haru, but it's all constructive and useful criticism, and not just hate being thrown towards him. Which is something I really did like, because it shows maturity, and it shows, yes, Haru's a bit of a jerk in this chapter, because he's just teasing Taiki, but at the same time he does genuinely care, and he's passionate about badminton, to the point where he's willing to train Taiki and help him develop, so that he can obviously do better in the team matchups. The manga's direction in having Haru and Taiki team up as well, in doubles action, I think will offer some more interesting interactions between the two of them, and we could get to see new characters and hurdles for our protagonists to overcome. We're obviously building up to an inevitable singles rematch between Haru and Taiki in the future, in where Taiki, the student, will surpass the master in Haru. But of course, until then, we have doubles action, and I can't wait to see how that is presented in the future. I would also like to see more Chinastu in the future as well, as I do want a couple of chapters building up her character, giving us a bit more of a personality and hobbies and interests outside of basketball. Because I do feel like she's probably one of the most underdeveloped characters in terms of personality when comparing all the characters we've been introduced to so far. Of course, it's only been 8 chapters, so I'm not going to be too critical on that, but I would like to learn more about our favourite female lead here. The art style was fantastic as always, and the comedy was really funny. I did enjoy that. But of course, please let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below about this chapter. And I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, hit that like button and subscribe for more Blue Box content from myself in the future. Other than that though, have a great day. Alligator, matane. Goodbye.